Welcome. I'm Stephen Howard, an award-winning author and a leadership coach. And my main focus is turning good managers into great leaders. In this YouTube channel, I want to share with you some tips and techniques to help you become a better leader, whether that means becoming a better manager, a better supervisor, or even a better team leader. In this video, I want to share with you some vital information on how stress impacts your decision-making brain. I also want to share with you some steps that you can take to help control your emotions from overtaking and controlling your decision-making processes. Does that sound interesting? Let's get into it. So here's what happens when stress arises. The amygdala, which is the fight, flight, freeze, emotional control center of our brain, typically responds faster than the brain's rational control center, which is the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala will flood your body with a rush of stress hormones, mostly adrenal cortisol, causing strong emotions to arise. I'm sure, like me, you've had experiences where you've said you're just too angry to think straight. These moments are caused by the amygdala sending stress hormones throughout your body and brain. In fact, I think it was Daniel Goleman who labeled these moments emotional hijackings. Well, feeling stress changes how all of us weigh risks and rewards in our decision-making processes. What I found most surprising when I did research for my book is that people under stress actually focus more on the way outcomes could go right. When under stress, our natural tendency, according to scientific research, is to actually pay more attention to positive information while discounting negative information. So when you are under stress and having to make a difficult decision, you are more likely to pay attention to the upsides of the alternatives you are considering and less attention to the downsides. The disastrous decision-making around the choice to launch the ill-fated Space Shuttle Challenger is an unfortunate example of how highly stressed leaders and decision-makers paying too much attention to the upsides and not enough on the contradicting downsides information. Interestingly, research also shows that stress increases the differences in how men and women, in general, think about and evaluate risk. When men are under stress, they have an increased tendency and willingness to take risks. When women are under stress, they tend to become more conservative about risk. While this, of course, is a generalization, and even though there is scientific evidence to support this conclusion, it is critically important to remember that each of us has individual tendencies and preferences that may or may not be in line with these gender generalizations. Most importantly, though, a universal propensity under stress is to resort to decision-making based on binary choices, either or, black or white, one or two, A or B. Under stress, our brains tend to limit the options available to just two alternatives, usually in an attempt to arrive at a faster decision. Unfortunately, this not only prevents more and often better options to be considered, it can also result in premature conclusions based on only a subset of all available facts and information. Additionally, new supervisors and mid-level leaders, as well as entrepreneurs and business owners, all tend to resort to micromanaging when under stress. Now, no one in the workplace likes to be micromanaged. The one exception might be new college hires who are like dry sponges. They soak up all the information they can, so they see micromanaging as an opportunity to learn. But everyone else does not want to be micromanaged. And micromanaging people tends to reduce their productivity as well as damages your relationships with them. So here are 4 steps for regaining control of your decision-making brain when you're under emotional stress. First, label your emotions. Labeling how you feel can take a lot of the heat and hurt out of the particular emotion you're experiencing. And labeling your emotions helps you to pause and consider how your emotions may be affecting your decisions and your thinking at the moment. Secondly, reframe your thoughts. Pause and consider the emotional filter through which you are viewing a situation, an event, or a person. Is your good mood causing you to misinterpret information too positively? Is your negative state causing you to misinterpret information too negatively? Third, remove judgment and have a more realistic point of view. An email with positive feedback from your boss does not necessarily translate into a job promotion or a raise. Likewise, An email containing criticism from your boss does not necessarily mean you're on the road to being fired. Be more realistic and less judgmental. Additionally, engage in a mood booster when you find yourself in a negative state. Take a walk outside. Enjoy a nice hot beverage. Pause, rest. Call a friend or a family member to talk about something pleasant, but no complaining. Now, here's another thing to be cautious of. Research shows that when we are angry, we apparently believe we are smarter than everyone else around us. As a result, leaders who are angry are less likely to consider the thoughts and ideas of others when making decisions, simply because at that moment, they think that they are far more intelligent than the people around them. And this is one reason that it is hard to reason or rationally argue with someone who is angry. So again, reframe. If you find yourself in that position, reframe your thoughts. Stop thinking you're the smartest person in the room. Instead, reframe your thoughts and say, you know what? I need to be a better listener right now. I need to ask better questions. So here's my final tip on this video. One of the best ways to prevent stress, especially emotional stress, from impacting your decision-making and thinking, is to stop and ask yourself this one simple question regularly. In what situations and interpersonal interactions do I regularly find my emotions and my reactions working against me in my best interest? Truly understanding the answer to this question and then taking proactive steps to prevent emotional hijackings in such situations and interactions is a surefire route to better decisions, better thinking, and better outcomes. So I hope you learned a few things in this video on how stress impacts your decision-making brain. For some lighter and more fun information, have a look now at our video on brain myths and facts. You'll find it in our Important Information on Brain Health playlist. Until next time, I'm Stephen Howard, wishing you continued success in all your endeavors.